So the next one is opposing. And opposing is exactly what it sounds like. Opposing is just doing the opposite. One of my favorite examples of this is called the book with no pictures. How many of you have ever read a children's book to your child? Every children's book has what? It has pictures. Sometimes you oftentimes read it so they can see it, or you hold it out to them. Every children's book has pictures. When you write a children's book, the difficulty of writing a children's book isn't writing it, it's getting an illustrator. There's awards that people can win for illustrating children's books. And then B.J. Novak, who's the co-creator, one of the co-producers of the American version of The Office and played Ryan in the American version of The Office, he wrote a book called The Book with No Pictures. And it goes like this: Blork, wait, what? That doesn't even mean anything. Blurf, wait a second, what? This isn't the book I wanted to read. And I have to say every word the book says. Uh-oh. So what he did was he designed a book that, even though it didn't have pictures, was still going to be fascinating for children. He did the opposite of not even just what some company did, but what every book in an entire genre had ever done for the last 200 years. He said, my book won't have pictures. And the title of the book is The Book with No Pictures. But he recognizes that when you say stupid things to children, they love it. And if you can make an adult look like an idiot, they love it. And so one of the pages says this. It says, I'm a monkey who taught myself to read, right? So I'm a monkey who taught myself to read. You tell your kid, I'm a monkey who taught myself to read, they love that. They think that's fantastic. Right? So how's his book doing? How's his book doing? He wrote it in 2014. It's currently in the top 200 on Amazon. Not top 200 children's books on Amazon. Almost 5 years after it was written, it's one of the top 200 books worldwide on Amazon.com. They sell millions of books on Amazon, and I know because I've been writing books for years, and sometimes my books have been ranked in the high millions on Amazon.com, right? You start seeing some big numbers, you're like, really? Is there anybody after me? Is there anybody left, right? And there is. There is. And he's in the top 200 by doing what? By doing the opposite. One of my other favorite examples is Little Mismatch. Little Mismatch. They don't sell socks in pairs. They don't sell matching pairs of socks. They sell socks in sets of 3. They sell socks in sets of 3, and their goal is to help girls feel empowered to be unique, to be themselves, to not conform, to stand out from the crowd, to be like everyone else, right? I've been so inspired by this, and since I've started doing a whole talk on this idea of opposing and oppositioning, and I don't know if anybody noticed, my shoes don't match. My shoes don't match. And let me tell you the power of wearing shoes that don't match. I once had a flight attendant ask me, your shoes, do they match, or am I just going blind? She was more willing to question that maybe she had visual disabilities, that she had sudden onset blindness, than that another human being would voluntarily choose to wear shoes that don't match. That's how surprising doing oppositioning, doing opposing is. That's how powerful it is. It gets you attention. It draws attention to what you're doing in your business, in your organization. You just have to have the courage to move. And again, this isn't just in an industry. This is socks always are sold in matching pairs everywhere. Even if they're funky socks, they're sold in pairs. So from now on, for the rest of my life, I wear mismatched socks. I have 2 different socks on today. I'll have 2 different socks on tomorrow. Here's the additional benefit of that. My first time ever doing this, it was for an EO group. Guys in the front row, his socks don't match. I was like, dude, what's up with the mismatched socks? I didn't know anybody was into this, and you're not a Little Mismatch customer, so what's going on? He goes, I don't want it. He's an entrepreneur, right? He's like a lot of you. He's like, he doesn't follow the rules. He goes, I do my laundry. I fold all my laundry except for the socks. I take my socks to the sock drawer. I dump it in. And then I walk up to it when I need socks. I grab 2. They match. I put them on. Any 2 socks I grab at any point in my life are matching socks as far as I'm concerned. Think about the hours that he has saved in his life, right? Think about the frustration that he has eliminated, right? We have this idea that socks need to match. Who cares? Why? Why does it matter? And how much time are you spending? How many of you have that basket at your house full of socks that don't match, right? But you won't throw them away. It's like they're worth $4. Move on, right? In America, from Thanksgiving to Christmas, from November 25th to December 25th, it's the biggest shopping season we have. Some retailers make 75% of their revenues and profits between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so the day after Thanksgiving is huge. It's called Black Friday, and everybody knows you have to open early You have to offer really big sales. You have to get everybody shopping so you can start your year. But that's not what REI did. REI is an outdoor supplier. They sell things to help you with mountain climbing and kayaking and camping and things like that. And they created something instead of Black Friday that they called OptOutside. On the biggest shopping day of the year, shopping day where they can almost tell you based on the stats of one day, not just what the retail industry is going to do, but what the American economy is going to do for that entire year based on one day's worth of statistics. REI said, no, we're not going to do that. We're doing something called OptOutside. Here's how OptOutside works. They said, this Black Friday, REI doesn't want you to go shopping. Now, just think about that, how opposite that is. You're a store, and you're telling people, don't shop here. Right? What is every other marketing message designed to do, right? Come shop here. They said, no, thank you. This Black Friday, REI doesn't want you to go shopping. We're closing to spend the day outside. They even shut down their website. Going back to David's thing, happiness thing, they give their employees a paid day off. They don't just tell them not to come to work. They pay their employees to not go to work. While the rest of the world is fighting it out in the aisles, we'll be spending our day a little differently. Join us. Join us. That's oppositioning. That's oppositioning. That's opposing. That's doing the opposite of what everyone else is doing. Patagonia did something similar recently. They took out a full-page ad in the New York Times, which is different because nobody reads newspapers anymore. And they took out an ad that said, don't buy this jacket. And to be clear, that is a Patagonia jacket. So they were very specific, not just don't shop on this day, don't buy our clothes. Well, why would they do that? Because they believe in environmental sustainability. You heard a little bit about that yesterday. And so what they're actually encouraging people to do is get their stuff repaired. And so Patagonia will do two things for you. They will fix the clothes you have for you. And if you don't want to have clothes that are fixed and wear them after that, they will buy your clothes back from you. They will fix them, repair them, clean them, and then sell them to other people as worn wear. Right? They're trying to reduce the environmental impact that comes from creating clothing in this world. And even though they are a clothing store, they are deliberately and specifically and not ironically telling people, don't buy more clothes from us, let's do it differently. And they've created a service to do that and to recycle clothing and to make it cool to do something that most people wouldn't normally consider doing.